Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking and welcome to my ranking for the Child's Play movies or the Chucky movies, whatever you want to call them. Yes, I've been doing rankings for these horror movie franchises that I don't care for, but everyone has been asking for them. Y'all asked me to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre rankings, I did them. Then you asked for the Saw movies, I did them. Now you're all asking for the Child's Play / Chucky movies ranking, and here you guys go. Yes, I feel like I'm gonna run out of ideas for October. Yes, I'm doing more horror movie rankings in January and February than I did in October. I'm gonna have no ideas for October. So, I know by the end of this video, you're all gonna ask me to do another horror franchise ranking. Yes, you all gonna do it. I know you're all gonna do it. But anyways, so let's talk about Child's Play. Yes, this is a horror franchise. I will admit, I actually haven't seen all the movies when y'all asked me to do it. When everyone's like, oh, rank the Child's Play movies, I'm like, oh, I haven't even seen all of them. I only saw the first two, and they were fine. I saw them like 7 to 8 years ago, but I found them okay movies, but I didn't see the rest of them because I really didn't care to watch the rest of them, but I wanted to do this ranking, so yesterday I binge-watched all of them. All 6 movies, I watched them all. I didn't watch the first 2 all over again because I wanted a different perspective now because I haven't watched them in years and stuff. So yeah, I watched all 6 of them and it was a pretty entertaining watch. There's some really bad ones and there's just some really entertaining ones. There's not actually a good Child's Play movie. There is a lot of entertaining ones though. There are fun movies because they're so ridiculous. And then there's just ones that are just stupid. They're not fun at all. They're just dumb movies. So yeah, they're definitely more entertaining to watch than the Saw movies and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. So yeah, let's get to it. Here's my ranking of all the Child's Play movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, coming in at number 6 is Seed of Chucky. Seed of Chucky came out in the early 2000s. And basically, it's the continuation of Bride of Chucky. You know, Tiffany gave birth to this fucking doll. It's the child of Chucky and stuff. And yeah, it's basically a typical Chucky movie. Yeah, you got Tiffany and Chucky in the movie, but it's mostly about the child, and you know, there's these new group of teenagers that are gonna get killed. They have to deal with Chucky's child and stuff, and I could care less. This movie was really stupid, really ridiculous. It tried to have the comedy like the previous Chucky movies, but it wasn't very funny. It was just stupid and ridiculous, and the kills weren't very creative. These characters were absolutely irritating. I was glad that all these teenagers and all these idiot characters were dying. But at the same time, Chucky wasn't even that funny. Tiffany wasn't even that funny. Nothing about this movie was funny or entertaining or even remotely scary. Like, nothing about this movie worked, and it's hands down the worst Chucky movie. Coming number 5 is Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3 is definitely the dullest movie, and that's one thing you don't want from a Chucky movie, it being dull. Yes, Robert Dwarf, is that his name? Robert Dwarf? Yeah, he does the voice of Chucky. Anytime he comes back and does the voice, he always does a good job. He always has fun with this role. And yeah, he's great. He's the only thing good about this movie. This movie is very dull. And it's a Chucky movie. There's this silly, over-the-top, masochistic doll that kills people. Like, how do you make that dull and boring? Well, this movie managed to do it. These characters are dull. The story is dull. Even the kills and the shots and how they do the scares and the tension, it's all very dull. It's all very been there, done that. Well, when I was watching this third one, when I was binge-watching all these movies, the first 2 were kind of fun. Then after watching this one, I'm like, oh my god, these movies are just going to get gradually worse and worse. However, they didn't, but this one was definitely way worse than the first 2, and definitely the most dullest and forgettablest Chucky movie. Coming number 4 is Curse of Chucky. Curse of Chucky came out in 2013, and I'm pretty sure this was a straight-to-DVD movie. I don't know, it may have went to select theaters, but I thought it was a straight-to-DVD Chucky movie. I never watched it when it came out in 2013 because I had zero interest. Again, I'm not a Chucky fan, but I watched it, and it's not that good, really. It's got some really bad and hokey acting. Yes, Robert Dwarf's daughter is in this movie. She's awful, but yeah, she's in this movie, and this movie is actually really boring for the first act. I know it's trying to build the story, build the tension, build the scares, but the story isn't interesting, the writing isn't well done, the direction isn't well done, and these characters are so boring and so stereotypical. It was really boring for like the first 45 minutes of this movie. I'm like, oh my god, just bring Chucky in already. And when he does, it's fine. It's fine for what it is. Again, it's been there, done that kind of thing. And it's not really bloody and very creative like some of the other Child's Play movies. It feels very toned down, this movie. And it's a Chucky movie. You're not supposed to tone it down, just bring it up. Make it silly, make it gory, make it over the top. Even though I really hate gory, over the top movies, but honestly, you can't make these movies good, so might as well just do that. And this movie didn't. This movie played it safe. And I don't know why. The best part of this movie, again, is Robert Dwarf, and the ending. The ending to this movie was good, and it was a good send-off, but I don't think it is a send-off, because they're making a 7th Chucky movie, so this movie is just irrelevant. Come number 3 is Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 gets more and more comedic, more and more over the top than its predecessor. And it's not a good movie, but it's a damn entertaining one. This is when Robert Dwarf gets really funny. He gets really more over the top. He gets way over the top with its kills, and they get silly, and goofy, and really funny and campy, and that's when it gets really entertaining. Again, these characters aren't interesting. Most of these characters in these Chucky movies aren't interesting. They're all very stereotypical adults, police officers, or teenagers and stuff. This movie's no exception. This movie is not a very good movie, but there is tension at times. There is a lot of campiness and silliness and a lot of comedy in the movie, and it works. It just works. It's a fun, entertaining movie. It's dumb, it's stupid, but it's entertaining. Coming number 2 is Child's Play, the first original Child's Play. This one, I actually can say there is some creepiness to it. There is some atmosphere. They even do the point of view shot. It doesn't master it like Jaws or Halloween, please. But it's fun. It's actually done very well. There is some tension. There is a little bit of creepiness to it. And of course, when Chucky first does the head spin and is like, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" It's kind of fucking creepy. However, that kid, the kid in this movie, I forget the kid's name, he is just an awful actor. He is just terrible. But you got Chris Sarandon in the movie. Yes, Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride. He's fine, and you got the lead girl. She's fine. Again, Robert Dwarf. I do love the beginning of this movie. It's silly, but it's done very well. When you see Chucky as a human, the cop chasing him. This is when all the opening credits are coming on. It's like this chase scene in this toy store, and you find out how he becomes Chucky. It's kind of interesting, and it's kind of tension-filled. It's silly, but it's effective, and when the movie keeps going, it gets eerie. It is atmospheric at times. This is actually the Chucky movie that I actually can say is actually pretty good. It's actually done very well. Tom Holland directed and wrote this movie. He did a decent job. Again, there is some over-the-top acting. There is some bad acting by that kid. And how the friend dies, the babysitter, how she dies, is probably the most ridiculous thing ever, but it's kind of funny. There is comedy in the movie. And even at the ending, when they have to kill Chucky, and when they're doing the hunt in the house at the ending, it's actually pretty tension-filled. And yeah, I actually don't mind the first Child's Play movie. It's silly, it's over the top, but there is some tension, and there is some scares in the movie. It's actually a genuine good movie. Not a great movie, but it's actually pretty good. And my number 1 favorite Child's Play / Chucky movie is Bride of Chucky. Yes, Bride of Chucky came out in the 90s, and my god, can you ever tell, this is a 90s horror movie for damn sure. This is just like a Halloween H2O or a Scream. This movie is so freaking 90s. And yeah, this movie's silly, is stupid, silly, over the top, and funny, and it's completely self-aware. This movie is so self-aware of how ridiculous it is. It's actually a lot of fun. This is hands down my favorite out of the Chucky movies. This movie is so much fun to watch. This is the Bride of Chucky. You meet another doll. You meet a girl who is Chucky's ex-girlfriend, played by Jennifer Tilly, who's great. She's Tiffany, and she becomes a doll as well, because Chucky turns her into a doll by killing her and then making her into a doll. And now we have 2 psychotic dolls. You got Chucky and Tiffany, the Bride of Chucky. And yeah, this movie is so over the top. It is so funny, and it's, again, so self-aware. Right from the opening, when you see the guard in the prison, you see the cage, all these horror movie icons. You see the mask of Jason, the mask of Michael Myers, Freddy's claws and stuff. I'm like, okay, we're in this kind of movie. It's kind of funny, it's kind of clever and stuff. And again, this movie pokes fun out of its own movies. Like, there's a scene where Chucky's like, yeah, you definitely need 3 sequels to establish the character. That's funny. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when, like, it's when Chucky's, like, crawling, and then this, like, stoner guy sees him, and Chucky, like, gives him the finger, and the guy's like, man, that's a rude fucking doll. Like, I don't know what it is. That was funny. Like, there's a lot of funny scenes in this movie. There's a lot of weird and uncomfortable scenes, but it's so silly, over the top, and nuts. Like, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The 90 minutes went by so quick because I was having fun with this movie. You see a young Katherine Heigl in this movie, and she's terrible as always, but she's in it. And you also got John Ritter in the movie, who's obviously over the top as shit, but he's so great. It's John Ritter. But of course, the show stealers is Robert Dwarf and Jennifer Tilly as Chucky and Tiffany. Seeing this duo is just freaking hilarious, and everything about this movie is just, again, over the top, but so much fun, and it's really, really funny, and very self-aware of how ridiculous it is. And yeah, I can actually see myself watching this movie during the Halloween season, and even buying the Blu-ray of it. Yes, all these other movies are just silly movies, but this one is the right kind of silly, and it's definitely a movie I could see myself watching during the Halloween season. So yeah, Bride of Chucky, hands down my favorite of the Chucky movies. So yeah, that was my ranking of all the Child's Play or Chucky movies, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that's my ranking of all of them. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me what is your ranking of all the Child's Play movies, from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.